Yup, are we here? Let's show some respect to the WWE Backlash and the crowd in France. Oh man, this was an amazing pay-per-view. And I will go on record to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I am 5 for 5 for this entire pay-per-view. I got all of my predictions right. Both the championship matches, the tag team matchup for the championships with the women, the triple threat matchup. I predicted the Randy Orton and Kevin Owens, Tonga and Solo Sikoa match correct. All of my predictions for this event was correct. All 5 matches. I am 5-0 for WWE Backlash 2024. But I'm not going to hold you. This is a recap and reaction show. So the first thing I want to do is discuss this opening match that we had, ladies and gentlemen. The opening match that we had was the tag team matchup where Tonga and Solo Sikoa won. Now, before I get into this matchup and how dope it was, because I rated this matchup an 8 out of 10. I really rated this matchup an 8 out of 10 because this was probably the most, not that it was so unpredictable, but this was probably the most unpredictable match of the entire show. And even though I predicted it right. So what y'all gonna tell me, huh? Make some noise for me. I predicted this match right. But before I get into the actual match and what took place, the crowd in France was just amazing. Even from last night on SmackDown, the crowd for this matchup was freaking amazing. They have to bring a mania to France. They just have to. And Puerto Rico. Backlash probably have a better crowd than WrestleMania. And I stand on that because last year in Puerto Rico, they was going crazy when Bad Bunny came out. But this year in France, they held the show up all show long. The entire event, the crowd was on fire from the opening bell. I've never heard Randy Orton's entrance get sung by an audience like I did tonight. I've never heard it at all. But they definitely did it first, and they set the bar high for it. But this matchup, I gave it an 8 out of 10. The regular back and forth shit. Spots was being made. But the craziest spot of this matchup was when Kevin Owens did a brain buster on Solo Sikoa. Was it Solo or was it Tonga? It was Tonga. Kevin Owens did a brain buster on Tonga from the top of the rope and sent him through the chairs. That was the craziest spot of this entire matchup. He redeemed himself because when he jumped off the apron onto the table on Tonga, it was like, okay, we've seen that before. Thanks for the bump. I'm sure the France crowd appreciated the bump, but this brain buster from the top of the rope was crazy. It was crazy. So shout out to them. This matchup to me, the storytelling wasn't so much more, and it's just like the championship match. The storytelling is more at the end. And Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are just casualties of this new Bloodline 2.0. And I love, one of the best things that I love when what WWE does sometimes is when they're building a story and they allow the smaller stories to seem as important to what they're leading up to. Because Kevin Owens and Randy Orton has amazing chemistry together. They just two freaking jerks that get along. And they could both be jerks to whoever their opponents are. So that was fun to me to see that, because we know the biggest story here is not about Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. We know that the biggest story here is when Roman Reigns get back with the Usos, and it's going to be the old bloodline versus the new bloodline. We know that that's what we're leading to, whether we're doing it at SummerSlam or whether we're doing it at WrestleMania next year. We know that that's where we're leading to. And Kevin Owens and Randy Orton was a great footnote into this story, and they sold the story well. But this matchup I give it 8 out of 10. It's great to see Solo pick up a victory at a PLE. Tonga getting his first victory at his first PLE. So this is good, and I believe that this group is going to be strong leading into the main clash with Roman Reigns and the Usos. And they also had Tonga brother debut at the end of this match. He actually cost Kevin Owens the match. I don't know his name, and I know there's a bunch of freaking wrestling fans that's gonna say, "Well, you don't know real wrestling." If you don't know his name, then you don't know real wrestling. No, that's not what it is. I don't know the brother's name for sure. It's not Jacob Fatu, even though he's suspected to be coming to WWE. But he actually was the reason why Kevin Owens and Randy Orton lost this matchup. And this is just more ammo and more layers to the Bloodline story. And they had a great start off with this matchup with Kevin Owens and Randy Orton. So I can appreciate that. Let me know how y'all feel too. If you in the comments, if you on Twitter, if you on YouTube, let's put some comments in the box. Let me know how you feel. I'm pulling them up. We could talk about it. That's what we're here for, to discuss it. But to close that out, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give this matchup an 8 out of 10. I liked it. The crowd was hot. It was crazy spots. Kevin Owens knocked it out the park with that crazy spot. And I just like this matchup. Then we get into our next matchup, which was the triple threat matchup. It was Tiffany Stratton, Tiffy Time versus Naomi the Glow versus the new WWE Women's Champion Bayley. This was a triple threat match, and these women were absolutely cooking. They were absolutely cooking, and I gave this match as well an 8 out of 10. The crowd was hot, and there was some amazing spots. The WWE environmental structure is not really built with women in mind. You know what I mean? Like they built the tables strong enough to hold up, but also weak enough for the men to go through. Except with the women, they built it. They don't build them in mind because women rarely go through the table. Like even if they fall on it, they don't go through the table because they're not heavy enough. So the spots that they did do, I understood, and I give shout out to Tiffany Stratton. I give shout out to Tiffany Stratton for actually going out there and delivering. You know, she did the Alabama Slam to both Naomi and Bayley on the announcers table, which was a great spot for a woman to do. She's really going out there, and Tiffany Stratton is really going out there and risking it and trying new things and not being afraid to fail and just trying it. And that's going to get her very, very far. That's going to get Tiffany Stratton very, very far. Naomi as well did a great job when it was her turn to be in the spotlight. Naomi was hot. Did anybody else notice that? The crowd in France love Naomi. I got a whiff of it on SmackDown last night, but tonight France was loving Naomi. So that's that was interesting to see. She is incredibly over in France. And of course, they love Bayley, but it was nothing special about the love that they have for Bayley. You know, everybody loves Bayley, but to see that the crowd really take to Naomi and give her that momentum heading into this matchup, that was something special to see. I thought that she was going to get the lowest crowd reaction out of the three. She got the most, actually. So they was feeling the glow in France, which the crowd was hot this entire event. But I gave this match an 8 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. I gave this match an 8 out of 10 because these women actually absolutely did their thing. I believe that there's going to be some story there with Naomi congratulating Bayley at the end, and you know she's cool with Jade and Bianca, and they don't really like Bayley like that. So I think that there's going to be some sort of heat with Naomi going back to her friends in the locker room that we're going to see progress throughout this event. And still, your WWE Women's Champion was Bayley. Bayley retained in this matchup. So I was, this is her first real challenge. And this is what I predicted on my article on medium.com, NWO Sparrow. I predicted that Bayley was going to retain. This was just her first challenge after winning the championship. I highly doubted that she was going to lose this. I didn't think that she was going to pin Naomi, but I highly doubted that she was going to lose this matchup. So congratulations to her. Congratulations. Let me show the woman some goddamn respect at WWE Backlash. That was a good match. That was definitely a good match. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. I'm not streaming on Facebook. I'm on X and I'm on YouTube. This is not for Facebook right now. It's too much heat going on Facebook with Drake and Kendrick. I can't even collude the two right now. I'll be looking out of touch out here. So congratulations to Bayley with retaining her championship. The next matchup we got into was the WWE World Heavyweight Championship with Damian Priest and Jey Uso. I gave this match a 5 out of 10. I predicted that Damian Priest was going to retain. I was absolutely correct. This was his first challenger since winning the championship at WrestleMania for Drew McIntyre, and I just didn't believe that he was going to lose it a few weeks later. I honestly think we're building into Damian Priest versus Finn Balor, and that could take place at SummerSlam. You see, I could give you a timeline on Damian Priest and Finn Balor, but I can't really give you one on the Bloodline feud because we don't know how long that's going to stretch out. But I can definitely give you a timeline on Damian Priest and Finn Balor. I honestly believe that they're going to be Damian Priest and Finn Balor is going to battle it out at SummerSlam, not WrestleMania. I don't think it's going to stretch that long. Obviously, Damian Priest is going to be exiled out of the Judgment Day for acting like the leader in Rhea Ripley's absence, but we'll see. It's Easter eggs here and there. But this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Slow start, picked up at the end. We kind of predicted that the Judgment Day was going to get involved in this, and that's exactly what happened. And to see that the WWE is going to take Jey Uso and have him compete on Raw, knowing that we're building into the Bloodline versus the new Bloodline, that's interesting because it keeps him busy. I like what Triple H is doing. Triple H is right now making this all make sense. Remember, it was so many years where WWE just didn't make sense. Challengers came out of nowhere. Opponents came out of nowhere. Rivalries just sprung up randomly. Triple H is actually giving this whole thing a new lifeline. He's making it make sense. He's allowing the strings of these rivalries to be threaded way back when. We're going to see these rivalries develop into bigger stories. And that's what I like what WWE is doing right now. So, yeah, Jey Uso is hot. He's out in the crowd. Everybody is yee. I like Jey Uso. I even like Jey Uso when he was a part of the Bloodline. Right now, he should be getting some sort of championship, but that's not bigger than the story of Jey Uso rejoining the Bloodline to take on the new Bloodline. And that's what we're building towards. So I gave this match a 5 out of 10 because it was just not only was it predictable, but it had a slow start. These guys started cooking towards the end. They really wasn't cooking during the actual beginning of this matchup. It looked like they had no chemistry, but towards the end it picked up. That's when the Judgment Day got involved, and even the finisher, even the Damian Priest like choke slam like move off the top rope, it didn't hit the way it should have as a finisher. Like honestly, I would have called the audible and told Jey Uso to kick out of that and have him do it again. I would have told Jey Uso to kick out and have Damian Priest hit that move again, because even that move didn't hit. Shout out to everybody on the check-in. I see his people here. What's up? Talk to me. Go to that comment box. Let's talk. Let me see if people talking online, because that's what happens sometimes. Sometimes people be talking to me and they don't even come up in the comment box. They come up online. Let's see what that's about. Talk to me. I gave this matchup a 5 out of 10. And still, your world heavyweight champion is Damian Priest. Not a lot of chemistry with these guys, but the story made sense, and it's a great stepping stone to what what's gonna. Damian Priest has to get a big challenger before he gets Finn Balor. See, a lot of times with WWE, these title matches, these championship reigns rather, don't really mean anything. I'm talking about old WWE, not WWE under Triple H. But when Vince was running things, even if he had a transitional champion or a paper champion, a lot of times what happens is they don't face anybody worth saying, oh, they should be champion, or they had a great reign. They usually face the guy that they defeated again, and then they have like maybe two opponents, and then they put the title on the next big thing. I think Damian Priest deserves, before he gets to Finn Balor, we need to build up somebody that Damian Priest should face to make you think that person is going to win, and Damian Priest wins, just so his reign could stand on something. You know what I mean? Like, just so his reign could mean something. Like, who would you want to see Damian Priest face that he really hasn't? Like, somebody that it would be like, oh, that person could beat that. It could be Gunter. It could be Damian Priest versus Gunter. If we could try to squeeze that in before SummerSlam. What we in? We in May, June, July. 2 months. I think we could have something for Damian Priest by July before he faces Finn Balor. I think we could have something for him by July. Okay. Our next matchup, ladies and gentlemen, was the women's tag team matchup. It was the Kabuki Warriors versus Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. And let me tell you this, I gave this matchup a clean 7 out of 10. But understand that these ladies cooked. I rated it less because I honestly feel, with all due respect and all due love, and I'm actually a fan of Jade Cargill, I honestly believe that all of her moves in the ring wasn't as clean as they needed to be, and it kind of threw me off. Even when the ref made that, threw off the momentum of this match, I believed that it took away from the overall experience of this match. But make no mistake about it, that these women were in here cooking. It just panned out to be a 7 out of 10. The crowd was on fire. Kairi Sane and Asuka is doing what they always do, delivering. They're always delivering. That's what they always do. Always cooking. You know what I mean? So that was nothing new for me. I knew that they was going to deliver. I knew that Bianca was going to deliver. That's what she does. I wanted Jade to deliver, and she did. However, it just wasn't as clean to me as it needed to be. I honestly think that Jade should have spent a little time in NXT just to understand the camera work, and you know what I mean? Like, it looked like she still holds a lot of that AEW, it's a botch, but it's okay type feel, if you understand what I'm saying. And I like Jade Cargill. I'm a fan of hers. Like, I like her. And I knew that when she came to the WWE, they was going to make her look like an absolute star. But I just thought that they was gonna put her in NXT to clean up that stuff up. And AEW, and it's just an honest criticism, observation. I'm not trying to hurt nobody's feelings or get beat up online. But in AEW, a lot of the botches that they do are kind of like, yeah, we botched and it's okay. Let's keep going. And it should be that way in pro wrestling, just that it happens a lot in AEW. Like, it happens more than it needs to. It's botches everywhere. It's botches in WWE. It's botches in AEW. It's botches in Ring of Honor. It's botches in New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's botches in Lucha Underground. It's botches in Glow Wrestling. But in AEW, there's a lot of botches, and it's like, okay, that even though that look crazy, we're gonna still keep it going. And I think that Jade Cargill holds that, where she should try to clean it up. Now, to Jade Cargill's credit, her finishing move that she hit tonight was clean as a motherfucking whistle. Let me show Jade Cargill some goddamn respect, ladies and gentlemen. The finishing move that Jade Cargill hit tonight was clean as a whistle. She had Kairi Sane up in the air. She picked her up off the ground, threw her on top of her head, brought her back down, landed on her knees, and twisted and gave her some sort of a power bomb. I know that somebody's saying, motherfucker, you don't know the name of that move. You ain't a real wrestling fan, nigga. I know somebody saying that.
Nigga!
You ain't a real wrestling fan, nigga. You don't know the name of that move. I don't know the name of it, but I do know that Jade Cargill hit that hoe. She hit that shit clean. I'm sure some more goddamn respect for Jade Cargill. So I gave this matchup a 7 out of 10. I predicted it correct. I said that we was going to see the remaining fall of Damage Control. But what's going to be more interesting to see is what comes after this for Kyra saying Asuka, Dakota Kai. And even Io Sky. We haven't seen Io Sky since Mania. So that's going to be interesting to see what comes after this. The last match on the card, ladies and gentlemen, was this. It was AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. And my God, these men were cooking. Let me show these two boys some goddamn respect. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes was cooking, ladies and gentlemen. This is what AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura was supposed to be. Wasn't a dream match that we saw. This matchup right here is what AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura was supposed to be, except we didn't get there. They tried to keep it cordial and cute. This match was amazing. I gave this matchup a clean 8 out of 10, and I only gave it an 8 out of 10 because we knew what the finish was going to be because Cody Rhodes just won the championship. So the build up to this match was interesting because AJ Styles became the #1 contender. AJ Styles became the #1 contender. Oh, there go your graphic for the new women's tag team champion. But AJ Styles just became a contender for the World Heavyweight Championship after he lost to LA Knight at WrestleMania. Then he faced LA Knight again in that tournament finals on SmackDown, and he won. But they had about 2 weeks to build that, maybe 3. I think that they should have put in this is what I personally think for Backlash. I know that Cody Rhodes is your face. I know that you want to parade him, and he well deserved, rightfully so. But I think that they should have waited on this matchup for King of the Ring, maybe, because that would have gave us a little more time to see AJ Styles get a little more angry and a little more ammo against Cody. This match felt like a match of respect. You know what I mean? Like, it just was a match that these two guys respect each other and they wanted to give it to the fans. But I think AJ Styles actually should be a champion. So it kind of hurts to see that he has to do a fill-in match for Cody Rhodes like this. Like, I personally think AJ Styles would have been the one to take the title off of Cody Rhodes. I just think he deserves it that much. So to see this filler match just for the sake of a Cody Rhodes reign, to me, it kind of hurt a little bit. But this match cooked. And the only reason why I gave this matchup an 8 out of 10 is because we all knew that Cody Rhodes was winning this match. We was just waiting for the finish, but we didn't expect that we was going to be that entertained until we got to the finish, because this is what Shinsuke Nakamura and AJ Styles was supposed to be a few years ago at WrestleMania. It was supposed to cook like this. And I'm interested to see, I'm interested in seeing matches like this on in WWE now that Cody Rhodes is champion. One of the greatest things about AEW, and I would say this, is that they allow you to see matches that you just would never think that you would see. And know the stars that they're playing with is not as big as the stars that may be in WWE, but you wouldn't have think that you would see Edge versus somebody from AEW original. You would never think that, but AEW does that. So now that Cody Rhodes is champion, I will be very interested to see him take on guys like AJ Styles and guys that we would just love to see him compete with. Like, can you imagine in 2024 Cody Rhodes versus Dolph Ziggler? Can you imagine what that looks like in 2024? Cody Rhodes versus Ziggler? And I know he's not there no more, but I'm saying, like, let's get a set. You know how when Vince was running things, it would be Cody Rhodes versus the fucking great Ali, the great Khali, just for story purposes or building purposes. And sometimes it wouldn't make sense and they wouldn't have chemistry. But now you actually have a champion in place that has chemistry with a lot of the younger guys on the roster. So I would be interested to see Cody Rhodes versus, give me some of those dream matches with Cody Rhodes. Give us some things that you ain't seen before. Build it up, of course. But let's see what that looks like. And still, your WWE World Heavyweight Champion is the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Let me show Cody Rhodes some goddamn. Great matchup. I gave it an 8 out of 10 only because I knew how predictable this match was going to be. We knew Cody Rhodes was going to win. We were just waiting for the finish. But they delivered in the meantime and between time. This pay-per-view was a very good pay-per-view, and the crowd in France did an amazing job this entire pay-per-view. Let me give it an official score, ladies and gentlemen. Some niggas don't think I'm bullshitting. So my entire rating for this pay-per-view for WWE Backlash in France is a 7 out of 10. A solid 7 out of 10. And the reason why it gets a 7 out of 10 is because it was a predictable pay-per-view in terms of winners. The most unpredictable match was the Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and Bloodline match. That was the most unpredictable one. But everything else we pretty much knew was going to happen. So that takes a point away. I'd also take a point away from the chemistry between Jey Uso and Damian Priest. And they eventually got to cooking, but at first it wasn't good. It wasn't. I would have walked away to go get something to eat if they didn't pick that shit up. So that takes a point away. And and for the women's tag team matchup, I just think that Jay could have been a little bit cleaner, and the referee kind of killed the momentum when he was letting Kyrie say no, that she wasn't the legal opponent. So the entire Backlash pay-per-view, NWO Sparrow, gives it a strong 7 out of 10. And I explain why I didn't get an 8 or a 9 or a 10. I give it a strong 7 out of 10. You let me know in the comments what you give Backlash 2024. It was an amazing pay-per-view, and shout out to the WWE for putting on in France. Shout out to the crowd in France for putting on for France. The U.S. going to have a lot of competition because they was cooking tonight. And shout out to all the performers on the show. Let me know in the comments what you think about Backlash France. And that's my recap, ladies and gentlemen. That is my recap and my reaction to WWE Backlash. Next up is WWE King of the Ring in Saudi Arabia. I may be doing a prediction show and a recap show as well. So stay locked in. Make sure you follow me on X. Hit that follow button. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. We're going to be here. Thank you so much, and good night.